Story 1. Lost weight, dressed better, treated them like normal people instead of women I was interested in. Forced myself to take classes in things that required me to overcome anxiety such as motorcycle riding, ballroom dancing, carpentry, bartending, and leather working. Eventually, I got pretty comfortable trying things out of my comfort zone. That gave me substantially more confidence. My dating life became very easy after that. Story 2. Nothing changed in me. One scenario was I would be seeing someone, and women would suddenly start showing interest. The other was I went into a graduate program that was 70% women, and half the guys were not straight, a medium fish in a tiny pond. Story 3. I got into much better shape, grew my hair out, grew a beard, started spending money on my clothes, and bought a house. I don't exactly tell women about the homeownership thing, but I guess it was a boost to my confidence and women dig it. Story 4. I wish I could tell you it happened when I started working out and wearing better-fitting clothes, but that was nothing compared to when I had twins. Walking around with two little identical babies strapped to me is like ringing some sort of dinner bell. Story 5. As a 6'2", 250-pound white man, now bald with a big beard, I get two different reactions in public. 1. White women think I'm an aggressive person and straight up avoid me. Multiple black women have commented out loud about how big my booty is. Laugh out loud. Story 6. Honestly, listening to the advice people constantly give about active listening. I've been going on first dates from the applications, and every single one has wanted to see me again, and a couple wanted to hook up. I wasn't suave, smooth, or even that charismatic. But I listened, asked follow-up questions, and made humor out of the things they told me, and that was all it took. Story 7. Lost a ton of weight, gained it back in muscle, and leaned myself out. I grew out my beard, got a haircut, and started dressing in clothes that fit and actually showed off the work I put into the gym. Story 8. I suddenly freed myself of my low self-esteem because of my appearance. I don't know how, but suddenly something clicked. I then just acted as if I was a confident, handsome man. The problem was I was married and away from home a lot. I got the attention but had no idea how to handle it and acted like a kid in a candy shop. I felt guilty until I found out my wife was taking advantage of my absence. Story 9. I started getting attention from women after losing a bunch of weight. It honestly felt kind of disappointing because a lot of women who had previously been overtly mean to me were suddenly super friendly. Story 10. I started liking myself, which made me carefree. It's not increased confidence but more about being chill and accepting. Mind you, I still had work to do on myself, but I didn't let it take precedence over liking myself. Sure, I will like myself more when I get into better shape and lose more weight, but until then, I won't hate myself for not meeting my own expectations. I'll get better, and I'll get there faster with positive self-vibes. People like happy people, I guess. Story 11. For me, I was still a teenager. Half the battle was realizing that women were not just going to come up to you. They'll stare at you longer than they have to. They'll look away when you make eye contact with them because they're nervous, and if you pay attention, you'll catch them looking at you. Boys are not taught how to flirt, how to read body language and signals, nor how to talk to women. Hollywood pushes stupid nonsense tropes about relationships like men can overcome rejection if they annoy her enough. In the real world, unless you're a messy slob or an unkempt loser, you will draw female attention. The key is reacting to it and not being afraid to approach. And also redefining approach. The goal of an approach is to have a good conversation with her. Period. Full stop. Can be playful, thoughtful, deep, interesting, joking, whatever. The point is that she enjoys it. If things go well and you vibe, then you ask for a way to stay in contact. This entire concept of, "Hi, I think you're cute. Can I have your number?" is asinine and antiquated and rarely works in today's world. So, if you're currently getting zero female attention, here's your 12-step program. 1. Get to a healthy weight. Overweight people hit the gym and focus on cardio. Underweight people eat more and lift and stretch so you add muscle safely. Be clean looking. Shower every day. Have a hairstyle that looks groomed. Your hair should never be greasy. Skincare is important. Get rid of acne. Go with a facial hairstyle that suits you. If you can grow a beard, most women love the 5 o'clock shadow. Wear deodorant. Don't smell bad. Dress well. This doesn't mean you need to dress up, but your clothes should fit you and look neat, even if it's just jeans and a t-shirt. Your aesthetic should reveal something about who you are. If you want to dress alternative, country, business casual, sporty, or athletic, go for it. But be consistent. Don't wear gym shorts with a button-down shirt. Don't dress goth and then wear basketball sneakers. And regardless of what you pick, make sure your clothes are neat. No food or drink stains. No bleach stains. If the clothes are ripped, it's because it's part of the look. White clothes and shoes should be white, not yellow. Don't dress in a way that doesn't suit who you are. Become interesting. Develop and pursue hobbies. Be a leader in them. Get good at them. Be able to talk about them. Visit interesting places. Eat at interesting restaurants. Try new things. And meet interesting people. Develop a sense of humor. Study stand-up comedians and different styles. Be good at one-liners, slapstick, hypothetical humor, puns, dad jokes, dirty jokes, offensive jokes. All of it. Tailor your humor for your audience, but be versatile. Be successful. Have a job. Be good at that job. It doesn't matter what it is. Have ambition and a plan for the future. Make enough money to live. Have your own place, even if you have roommates. Learn how to read body language because of the stuff in the intro. Learn how to control your own body language. Chin up. Make eye contact. Shoulders back. Stand tall. Speak from the diaphragm. Smile with your eyes. Use warm, open, inviting gestures. Master the smirk, the lip bite, the nod, the wink, and a wave that isn't awkward. Be casual. This isn't life or death. You're talking to a woman. Talking to beautiful women is fun. Have fun. 10. Let her talk. Ask her questions. The questions can be leading questions. Instead of saying, "So what do you do for fun?" you can say, "So are you more the active sports or outdoors type? Or more of the introverted artistic reading walks in nature type?" She'll probably give you the same answer either way, but one conveys challenge, the other doesn't. 11. Flirt. Progress from discussion to asking her about herself, to banter, light, playful, not directed at her, to light teasing. Do not negate. Flirting can also just be suggestive, but don't be lewd. 12. Seal the deal. If the conversation isn't going anywhere, say you've got to get going and excuse yourself. No harm, no foul, and you don't have to worry about rejection. If it's going well, wrap it up by saying you've got to get going, you enjoyed the conversation, and it'd be a shame to never speak again. Ask her if she's willing to give you a way to get in touch with her and let her decide what that is. If she gives you an email, social media account, etc., take it. Don't insist on getting her number. If you do it right, you'll get it eventually. Message her within a day, but not right away. Keep your message high energy. Hey, as an opener versus hello, for example. Reiterate that you had a great conversation and be enthusiastic. Wow. Can't believe we talked as long as we did, and that I finally met another actual human who was into Peruvian basket weaving. Keep the conversation going and work it into naturally asking her to go out. This is how it's done. Story 12. I got married. Then, suddenly, as if by magic, all the single ladies just showed up and were extra flirty. Even more so when I would push my baby daughter through the grocery store while shopping and my wife was at work. Story 13. Not much outside of my late 20s, which had large quality of life improvements. One day, I just wasn't invisible and I would fall in and out of it. 17. Invisible. 18 to 22. Success. Went away to college and dressed a bit better. 23 to 25. Invisible, rare success. Occasional girlfriend, but very short-term or toxic. 26 to 31. Success. Story 14. Be the person you want to be with wants to be with. Took me a lot farther than you would believe. And don't just pretend to be that person, be that person. Story 15. I stopped overthinking things. I'm like 5 feet 6 inches and stopped caring that I was short and owned it. I stay generally active, so I'm skinny and toned. I take care of my hair, it's longer, and I started dressing a bit smarter. That's what I want to say. It's all true, but I'm still confused about how all of that landed me dating a model who I believe is way out of my league. I still don't have an answer for how I managed that. Story 16. Got very tall, lost my youthful looks, and became more handsome. Worked out and started putting on muscle. Already had developed a sense of humor from previous years. The height thing made the biggest difference. Also, be cool. Don't act overexcited and hyper. Story 17. I hate the term, but focusing on improving one's appearance, telling people what they want to hear, having a presence in the room without being an attention seeker, having nice things like a new phone and nice clothes, and having a career you are passionate about or one that makes you significantly more money than the average person, ideally both. Story 18. My confidence level has gone from having no game to having unstoppable game. This was accomplished by rebuilding my self-esteem after being in a long marriage with a very demeaning woman. Story 19. Excessive partying, alcohol abuse, clubbing twice a week, and treating women not very nicely, not to forget exercise and pretending I'm an interesting person. Unfortunately, it's what works. Sorry, fellows reading this. Story 20. I simply became a more approachable person. I smiled and looked happier, which made me feel happier. Now I have women stopping to talk to me all the time. Story 21. Simple. I turned 30, so now I'm the comfortable guy women want to settle down with after they've had numerous experiences with guys far more masculine and better looking than me. Say a prayer for me, gentlemen. Story 22. I got married and stopped giving a shit whether I was getting attention or not. An unfortunate side effect was several women I'm now very good platonic friends with initially had the wrong idea, and it makes for an awkward conversation setting that right. Story 23. Honestly, I stopped looking for dates and started looking for fun things to do. I went to events near me I thought were neat. I tried a bunch of college clubs because I was a student at the time. I hung out in public spaces. I started up conversations with random people, even if I wasn't attracted to them, and practiced socializing. I eventually met someone, then dated, and later married them. Story 24. I don't give the attention they are looking for back to them because I am happily married. I don't think anything of it because I love my wife until death do us part. Story 25. Lost weight, started working out again, and got out more. Got on medication for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and depression, which gave me the level head and executive function to pull myself out of the spiral of, why did my ex not see value in me and why isn't anyone else seeing value in me? Is there a clue phone I need to answer telling me there's no value to see? Story 26. Get a girlfriend. Strangely, women almost only hit on me when I already have a girlfriend. Probably because I'm relaxed and not actively looking. But in general, losing weight, gaining muscle, wearing new and slightly more fashionable clothes, getting a good haircut, and being friendly and genuinely interested in other people. Story 27. I've tried to change my stutter. I used to weigh 228 pounds but lost a majority of it, and now weigh 160. I worked out often and looked much better than I ever did in my past. But I have a severe stutter despite my weight change. I still got a lot of attention, but I always avoided it due to my speech impediment. I've slowly come to accept it and accept the attention I've received. It's not easy, but it's possible. Story 28. Got older and did well in my career. Everyone who is now single in their 30s found me quite quickly and suddenly wanted to return to what I had over 10 years ago. Thank God I found someone to support me to get to that spot. I'm not leaving them for these. Story 29. 1. Started lifting weights. I was always physically fit from mountain biking and Thai boxing for years, but I was very skinny. After the COVID-19 lockdowns eased up, I got into weightlifting and haven't looked back. Stopped smoking marijuana. I used it very destructively, late into the night, and deprived myself of sleep, which just made me feel even slower, stupider, and more short-tempered. Since stopping, I sleep great, have tons more motivation, and replaced the extra time with reading. I stopped blaming everyone and everything else for things I was unhappy about in my life and focused on just the things I can control. Found a community of men where we can be emotionally vulnerable, build each other up, and support each other. I'm very lucky that I found a community in my hometown like this. I've made great friends through it. I think it's fair to say these four things completely changed how I look, but more importantly, how I feel about myself, which turns into positive changes in how I interact with people, deal with problems, and carry myself through day-to-day life. Story 30. Two different times. First, when I was in college and went away on an internship for 2 semesters and came back pretty fit. Just throwing it at me. Good times. Second time is when my brother and sister-in-law gave me my first nephew. Nothing pulls them in like a cute little boy and me grocery shopping. Story 31. I was already in shape, but I started following the subreddit male fashion advice. So I changed my entire wardrobe and started using fitted, stylish clothing. I also began maintaining a clean-cut hairstyle appropriate for my face, so I threw away all my hats and went to the gym regularly as well. That's all I did. Before, women wouldn't even glance at me twice. Now I get a lot of attention from many attractive women on a daily basis. I live in Vancouver, Canada, where women's standards are quite high. Your image is everything. Story 32. I started listening to people and became very confident in my own sense of humor. I got some external validation for that. I used to perform stand-up comedy fairly regularly and built a small career out of it.